Hello. Am I alive? Are we crackly? Just getting audio stuff out of the way before I say hi to anybody as I do. Actually, I'll just start saying hi. Skull, bring out the brooms, baby. Let's go. Charles, Ian, Connor, Williams, accent. Remembering, go Yankees. Go Yankees. Why go Yankees? Did they complete the comeback against the Giants? I saw Juan Soto hit another home run, I believe. Graham, Lit, Nicola, hello, Zabel. That's a sweep, baby. Indeed, it is. Indeed. Poseidon. Wonder what Brant Brown was doing that they deemed so destructive to this team's offense. I mean, whatever scapegoat we needed, I guess. Whatever we needed. What's up? What's up, Connor? Hello, hello. Got some Joe Pogs for the sweep. You got Brant Brown fired. It's okay, Seatown fan. It's okay. Go Yankees so the Giants suck and we can get Camilo Doval. Interesting. Where are the Giants at in the standings? Just 2 games below 500. Okay, sure. Keep losing. Losers of their last 4 probably it's gonna be 5. So maybe Doval's on the list now. Maybe you can add Doval to a trade target list, but we're not talking about the Yankees and the Giants. We're talking about the Seattle Mariners, guys. The Seattle Mariners just completed a sweep at home against the Los Angeles Angels. And I'm feeling good. Feeling great about how this homestand went. For obvious reasons. You go 4-6 on the road on a 10-game road trip. Coming home, brutal final series against the Nats. You almost mop the Astros. You go 3-1 in that series. And as they should have, they sweep the Angels, going 6-1 at home. Little shorty 7-game homestand. 7-1 at home. Mariners win 5-1 today. Offense just doesn't they like to sleep in. Day games, offense, they like to sleep in. Doesn't really get going until the 8th. And all hell breaks loose because for whatever reason, the Mariners can just get under the bullpen pitchers of whatever team they're facing, it seems like. Mitch Garver obviously comes in with a huge hit today. Bases clearing RBI double. And it felt like he was stinging the ball out to left field a couple times. Didn't get down, I think it was either in yesterday or the first game. Probably the first game, where it mattered a little bit more because 9-0 in the second game, courtesy of some, JP's grand slam, etc. Nice to see Garver get something to land. 2 for 4 on the day. Luke Raley had a pretty solid day as well. Just overall, some okay offensive outputs. It's just the Mariners only mustered up 5 hits, but that's all they needed to put across 5 runs. And vintage, air quotes around vintage, Castillo wasn't his absolute sharpest, but when you're facing a team like the Angels, it doesn't necessarily have to be. 7 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 6 Ks for Castillo, bringing his ERA on the year to sub-3. It only took until June, and he's down to a sub-3. Castillo pitched well enough. Obviously, the Angels team is... Ugh. But a sweep is a sweep. A win is a win. Mariners are 7 games over 500, 4-game lead on the Texas Rangers. Feeling good, guys. Feeling good. Now I will talk to you guys. Peak Mariners year, Connor facts. Who knew Luke Raley was going to be this good? I feel like a lot of people were pretty high on him. It's just the first month of the year, it was a little weird not seeing him play, and now he's playing, and it's good. We might win 20 games this month, Ian. With how the Mariners stayed afloat in May, with how tough their schedule actually was, and looking ahead to June, obviously 3 against the A's who have started slumping, 3 against the Royals, more challenging, 3 against the White Sox, 3 against the Rangers. The Guardians are a tough team for sure. Marlins, you got 3. Rays, who have been middle of the pack, like they're around 500. They're nothing like super crazy. And that takes you into the final series of the month against the Twins at home. We know the Twins handled us in Minnesota. Twins have come down back to earth a little bit. They're 7 games over 500. but not, on a crazy win streak and riding high. So maybe by the end of June, if 20 games in the cards, Ian, boy, what a month that would be. What a month that would be. Luis wasn't sharp today, but he got the job done. Facts, Mariners, buddy. Facts. So what do you need? Like, again, doesn't always have to be his best, but what he was able to put out there today was enough. So, 4 against the White Sox. Was it 4? Did I say 3? It is a 4-game set against Chicago. Maybe, hopefully, Tommy Pham's not throwing any punches in that series against the Mariners. The White Sox and the Brewers got into a little kerfuffle in today's game. It was a weird play. I know, a little off topic. Tommy Pham's trying to score, and he's, I gotta say, at least like 3 or 4 feet to the left of the baseline. Like, he's in the grass in the infield running, and he slides in, and then like him and Contreras start chirping at each other. Yeah, waiting on the jump play breakdown for that. It was weird. I felt Pham was low-key in the wrong for where he was running. But, we'll see what comes out of it, if anything more. But it is, it's Tommy Pham. His little comments in the clubhouse, just post-game interview stuff. He says he fights all offseason and trains all offseason for moments like that. It's like, okay, dude. Bro's got some fire in his eyes, but where do we need help, Seatown fan? Where do we need help? I think with Gabe Spire going on the injured list, probably won't see him until July at the earliest. I feel like you should go out there and get another reliever, given the Gabe Spire injury. Yeah, Gabe hasn't been entirely sharp. Joe, question. Did I die? Did the stream spike and die? Or are you just asking if I was going to respond? I think even though I was saying was Gabe, his injury, it's a little funky. He hasn't been at his sharpest, but regardless, is a guy that if you're not pitching him in leverage situations, it's a nice arm to have because you've seen what he's capable of doing, and maybe he was going to get back to that. With that injury, I think you go out and get another arm. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Don't think Vlad will get traded. Damage, it's a weird one. Started at third base for the Blue Jays today, which was kind of funky, but yeah, the Vlad and like Bo Bichette rumors, it is mainly just like talking things, right? It's just speculative stuff that's like, okay, what could this actually look like? Which is any part of the reason why we talk about it, Y2K. So all M's podcasts have been saying hitting coaches don't matter. How many games in a row do we have to score to 5 to be able to say he was causing problems? I think there's criticism to be had for sure. And from what small comments have been made about Brant Brown and like what has come out post, like Haniger had a comment and just like things in general, his approach, Brant Brown's philosophy around hitting maybe just wasn't reaching the guys. And ultimately, that's probably where the gap was. Maybe it works for some people, maybe it works for others. It's a situation where if he wasn't able to connect and reach to the players of like what he was trying to practice and preach and promote, whatever, that is where then the gaps start to happen, and hitting philosophy, whatever they're practicing or their game plan, if they're getting away from it, that's where then the criticism can be had, of course. And more power to everybody that's like, fire the hitting coach because that'll do something. And the Mariners have done well, obviously, against the Angels pitching staff, who's the Angels team in general. Again, the Mariners could have scored 1 run a game and done all right this series. Maybe not 1, but you get what I'm saying. The Mariners outscored the Angels, 19-5 in this series? They could have scored 2 runs a game, in theory, and still won this series. But I understand that there's definitely some reflection to be had. Brant Brown wanted Julio not to hit home runs. There it is. I'll be curious to see how the offense continues to go and if any conversations are had about it. I'll be curious to see how that looks. America stuff, hello. Really need another bullpen piece with Brash out for the year, Santos out into the deadline, and apart from Munoz, everyone else is mid. Absolute mid. Stanek's picked it up, I'd say, a bit. Mike Bauman's looked decent the last 2 times out. You still need the help. Did the Mariners win? Travis Hansen. Did the Mariners win? Guys, the Mariners got a sweep. Swept the Angels at home. Feeling good. Feeling great. Isn't a deadline guy? What the freak? Who are you responding to there? Santos not out until the deadline? Is that what you're responding to there, accent? GG Joe won this match in fantasy? I was worried, Tyler. I was worried. You had Munoz. If the game was I was banking on something happening in the 8th, because if Munoz comes in, gets a really solid save, like 7 to 10 points, I was gonna start sweating. I was gonna start sweating hard in that matchup, but lucky for me, Garver comes in clutch with a bases clearing double. So I was pretty relieved personally. You are erect, Gary. That's my guy right there. Thought he was out until mid-July. Santos, he's been ramping up. I would expect out until the deadline, but maybe that's the pessimistic look of, well, we haven't seen him, so who really knows? So maybe that's where the comment stems from. Given the benefit of the doubt there. Where is the Mariners game from Saturday? The Mariners struck out 5 times in game 1. 9-0 in the second game. They struck out 6 times. Wow. Chills, guys. The Mariners only struck out. They struck out single digits in all 3 games. Chills. Chills. Brian was going to be nasty out of the pen in the playoffs. In the 3-game series, of course. Like, whatever you play in, like, the division. Or, not 3 games, but if you're not the first or second seed, you're the third year. While I'm looking at that, let me try and figure it out. Nelson Clay. Oh, did stream die? Are we dead? Refresh. Refresg. Hello? Am I alive? Bacon, bacon, bacon. Anybody know what that is? I'm sure you guys know what that is. Dead stream? Tough, dude. If we're back, we're back. If we're not, it's so Jover. It's never been so Jover. Too much crack in hockey, baby? It's tough. Eric Swanson reunion. Yeah, the Blue Jays. Swanson's been rough this year. And for probably some realistic circumstances given what happened to him and his family during the offseason or into spring training. Friday, June 2nd, the Mariners lost to Texas and became 29-28 on the year. Last year in 2023, 29-28 the Mariners were on June 2nd. This year we're 34-27, so we're feeling good. Feeling good. How many of our starting pitchers will be all-stars? The way Castillo's turned it around, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another nod. Gilbert should be up there as well. That's probably be my stop. I think Kirby hasn't been consistent enough. Miller has had his little hiccup, but I don't know. You can only have so many pitchers. Maybe they'll get named like Kirby did last year as a reserve, maybe, or like a replacement. Maybe that's where the Mariners could get more than 2. But I feel like Castillo and Gilbert, probably. What happened to Swanson's family? His son got hit by a vehicle. He is okay. Has fully recovered, but that happened, and it was very, very sad. Jeffrey, with the $5. Thank you. Thank you very much. We now have a pattern of bringing in league average or better hitters over multiple seasons and have their hitting the floor. You don't understand. Jeffrey, appreciate the 5. It's confusing. It's confusing to put it as, like, just as straightforward as I can. I don't understand. I don't know what the dealio is with the inconsistencies there. I think back to, say, like 2022, where you bring in Winker and you bring in Gino, and you're expecting Winker to be the better of the two, and you get a really good year out of Gino. And I think what gets lost in there's the 5. Ta-da! What gets lost, I think, in a lot of the conversation about us bringing in guys and then them not living up to expectations is seasons like Gino's in 2022, which was really good. I think a lot better than what people expected. Obviously, 2023, he regressed. So, like, it's weird. It's very inconsistent in and of itself of, like, guys that come here, then slow down. Like, Gino was fine in his first year. His second year, not so much. Like, if we kept Adam Frazier for another year, would he have been as bad as Colton Wong? Like, I don't know what to point to. So it is weird, ultimately. Made it to the World Series with the Mariners in March to October, played the Reds of all teams. Travis, did you end up winning? Or did the Reds give it to you? Change of scenery, being back home could help his game being a little... No, I think Swanson, if he comes back for whatever reason, if the Blue Jays decide to move on for whatever reason, obviously be a pretty light deal. Maybe he'd be a supplementary thing in a larger trade package if that does happen. Again, that's maybe going along with the Vlad Jr. or Bo Bichette stuff. But Eric Swanson back in a Mariners uniform, I'd take it. I just don't know how he would feel, because maybe he feels a little, maybe not like disgruntled, but not getting used in the playoffs was phenomenal the entire year. It could be a weird situation, you know? Could be weird. Is Devers available? Rafael Devers? I don't know what it would cost. I mean, the problem is dude just signed an extension. 10 years, $313 million. Bro's not a free agent until 2033 or 2034. I hate to say it, but John Stanton's never going to take that. In a vacuum, in a perfect world, Rafael Devers is a phenomenal player. Putting up damn near 150 WRC plus. A great hitter. Defensively, he's like not the greatest, but like, you figure it out. I mean, you're giving up a top 5 prospect at a minimum, along with other major league talent that is probably controllable to some degree. So you're looking at like a Cole Young, Harry Ford, something like that, with a Josh Rojas or maybe even like a Ryan Bliss if you wanted to go that way. No, because they've got Blaze Jordan. See the shortstop prospect? I don't know. Devers would cost, yeah, exactly. Well, exactly what Accent just said. Would cost too much, it's not even worth it. Give it even with the contract. Like if they paid half the contract down, it's still a lot. It's still a lot. I like the idea though. I like the idea. Should we keep Bliss? I mean, for what he provides, he gets a lot. If he gets on base, he's stealing bags. He ran rampant on Reed Detmers last night. I'm fine with him being on the roster. I think him and Dylan Moore splitting time is fine. Dylan Moore has slowed down pretty considerably. So having a guy in there that can play okay defense at second and be a nuisance on the base paths if he gets on, right? His bat hasn't looked overly exceptional, but it hasn't looked... I think he's looked better than Clase at the plate, but, you know, if there's a roster spot to fill, like with a guy that's better, maybe you move Dylan Moore down, you acquire someone to take Dylan Moore's spot or that type of player, then you move Ryan Bliss back down because, like, you know, he's not contributing a whole lot, but also it's still pretty early on to his even attempt at contributing. You know what I mean? Like, he's been good, but like, can the Mariners do better? Sure. You know, I saw like comments about like Garver. Like, what do we want out of Garver? Could we be doing better than Garver as well? Yes. The difference is like Bliss obviously has options. Garver is not optionable and has contract, whatever. I hope that Garver, maybe the double was a sign of life today. Maybe that's the kicker that could get him going. We've said it about 2 or 3 times. The home run against the Braves. Maybe this is the second. It just needs a second jump, and then he'll go. But Aaron Judge for cash considerations, I'm in, Josh. I'm in. Bliss isn't off limits. Oh, if we were talking about trading, Marcelo Meyer. Thank you, Axon. I see it now. if we're talking about like trades, yeah, you can trade Ryan Bliss and I won't bat an eye. I like what he does. I like what he can contribute. But like in the right package, there's only like 3 or 4 prospects where I'm like, I'll be upset. And it's probably the top 4 as it stands right now. Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Harry Ford, Lazar Montes. Celston can easily work his way into that. And of course, that's what it will take to acquire like the big names. Like if we were going to go out and trade for like a Devers, that's what it's going to take one of them. You know what I mean? But there shouldn't be like the untouchables shouldn't go as far down as Ryan Bliss, in my opinion. Go get Brent Rooker. Is he still hot? Is he still hitting well this year? Last I saw, he was at a 1. OPS. OPS has dropped 80 points. He's washed. Absolutely washed. His 166 OPS plus, he's washed. Rooker would be fine. Strikes out a lot, but it is what it is. Mariners are winning games while having the highest strikeout rate, so why not just double down? I think you can go get Brent Rooker in a reliever for a reasonable price and be like, yep, that's a solid deal. Don't know if Ford is even off limits. My only thing, Andrew, with Ford is that there's so little quality catching depth in the organization that if you trade Harry Ford, you are solely reliant on Cal Raleigh being healthy for at least another 3 or 4 years until you can go out and make a move or there's someone available. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's my hiccup. So you got banned from Astros Twitter for saying we'll bang on trash cans behind home plate to make you feel more at home. Jeffrey, congratulations. Can we get some maybe like some Joe Pogs or maybe like some JP Captain, you know, something like that from the members in here to celebrate Jeffrey getting banned from Astros Twitter? That's what I'm all about. Garver can catch. Yeah, the fact that they gave Garver a day at catcher instead of Sebi, kind of wild. Andrew, appreciate the 5 again. Not Andrew. Jeffrey. Whoa. I saw Andrew's name there. Jeffrey. Thank you for the 5. I gotta slow down for a sec. Fun fact, Stanek hasn't walked a batter since April 27th. He's the GOAT. Need to get Ryan Helsley? Colton yelled at me for being too scared to get Ryan Helsley. I'm all in. Go get Ryan Helsley. Why not? Cardinals are bad. 27 and 29. Whoa, the Brewers. Brewers are so far ahead of everybody. The Cubs fell off. That's kind of wild. Dylan, Mariners balling? You're balling, bro. You're almost at a year. 11 months. Thanks for remembering. Thank you for remembering. I appreciate that. Dylan, GOAT. Where do you think the Mariners will get Cal, and when do I think the Mariners will give Cal an extension? Oh. How much more time do we have with Mr. Cal Raleigh until he's a free agent? 2028. I feel like if they were to give him an extension, I could see it being either this offseason or next offseason. Stream froze, freeze, reload, refresh. If they do, I think this offseason or the next, you get him for 5 years. You buy out 1 or 2 of his free agency years if they do it, and that's where they go. That would be my assumption. That gives Ford plenty of time to develop into an everyday player. Be ready. So that would be my idea. Being in his 30s and he's a Scott Boras client, no thanks. Yes, Scott Boras is the bane of our existence. He's 27 now. Cal will be 28 when? In November? So if we sign him to a 5-year deal this offseason, we have him until he's 33, 34. He won't be catching into his 30s. You know, he'll be DHing by the time that contract extension kind of really fully comes to fruition. So that'd be my, I guess, assumption around it. But you know, that's my my 2 cents. Canzone is cooled off. Can't always ride the hot hand. I think getting injured is tough. and maybe a little bit of inconsistent playing time with some of the lefty matchups coming in, or if Luke Rayleigh's playing well. So it's a rough situation for Dom to not get like every day or like everyday reps, because he was looking good when he was. Just now that he's not, he kind of slowed down. So I it's unfortunate. Mike, what's up, bro? Mike, hello. Yeah, I saw Gregory Soto. Um, Phillies are just really good. So I don't know why they would trade Soto unless they feel like they're fine with the bullpen, or they get an arm back and it's like a weird win-win trade, if that makes sense. So Brent Rooker would be the second best outfielder on the team. Yeah, I mean, he'd be hitting like he's the best outfielder on the team. So he's having a great year. The Athletics, if they're, I don't want to say smart, trading Brent Rooker makes a lot of sense for the Athletics this year. The thing is he's not a free agent until 2028. Like, he's got a lot of service time still. So whoever's going to trade for him, it'll take like a pretty decent-ish package. It's not going to be easy to acquire Brent Rooker, given his track record over the last 2 years. Prior, been light work because he was bad. He was really bad. But back-to-back years of him putting up well above league average stats as far as offense is concerned, A's might be able to get something decent in return. So, trade Garver Ford for Alonso? Trade Mitch Garver and Harry Ford, huh? For Alonso. Just have him be your DH. Have him and Ty trade days off at DH. Maybe when Haniger needs one, Ty sits. It's a lot. I don't know. I don't love the idea of getting Pete Alonso for half a year. It's not my favorite. Giving up Harry Ford is also not something I'm super keen on. But if that's what you're all about, Jet City, dude, get in there. Make those trades happen. F's in the chat? F's in the chat, bruh? Make Alonso DH? Making trading for Pete Alonso and making your DH can work. I don't see that as a problem. I think the thing is like how you acquire him. So, can we talk about Bet Online? The game starts here, America stuff. We can talk about Bet Online. Accent is in on the Ford Untouchable. My guy, Accent. That's what I'm all about. Alonso is the World Series piece. Secular would rather have Vlad than Alonso. We've got a little bit of a disparity in the chat. Shall I make a poll just for fun? Vlad? Alonso. Who would you rather trade for? Just for fun? We'll start a poll for fun. Who would you rather trade for, Pete Alonso or Vlad Jr.? Don't need to think about what you're trading to get them. Just go for it. Ty France has actually been pretty decent bat the last, in May. Not a great day for him today, admittedly. There was a pretty brutal, not even brutal. The Mariners won. Like, I'm not super mad. But there was a double play that I witnessed that I was like, of course. Thanks, Ty. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Gonna be Vlad by a landslide? You never know, man. You never know. If it's heck the Astros, is it frick the Angels? Felipe, I gotta be honest with you, man. Colton's gonna love that. That's speaking of, let's say hi to Colton really quick. Felipe, Colton's gonna absolutely love that. Heck the Astros, frick the Angels. What's one for the Rangers? Heck the Astros, frick the Angels. Frick the Angels is so good, dude. I'm trying to think of one for the Rangers. Do we huck the Rangers? That's good. Just a combination. A combination of it. Screw the Rangers. Okay. Did the Athletics deserve the the treatment here, or are we kind of letting them slide? The Angels aren't worth frick reserve for the Rangers? Okay. Ruck the Hangers. Flip the Rangers. Yeah, I will consult. We pity the A's. Okay, I agree. Ruck the Fangers, man. I will consult with Colton shortly, soon-ish, about this. Because this definitely needs his attention. Definitely needs his attention, I would say. That's right up Colton's alley, truthfully. That's his bread and butter. 62 votes. We're at basically at 3/4 in favor of Vlad. So, Vladdy's the GOAT, apparently. You do get an extra year of Vladdy. He's got an OPS of 796, a 132 OPS plus. What's Polar Bear Pete at? Pete Alonso. So is that the same? Slightly below an OPS and OPS plus. Just barely, though. Very comparable OPS and OPS plus. So, Vinny, you didn't get the noti? That's tough, bro. I posted it in the Discord, too. If you're not in the Discord, 1. What? 2, sorry that you didn't get the noti. But I'm happy that you're here now. Duck the Rangers. Okay. Okay. Fangraphs just crashed your PC. You're going to scream. Why is Fangraphs like the most like heavy CPU usage thing of all time? Like every time I try and load a single page of Fangraphs, I have to refresh it at least once and then it goes. But it is not optimized at all. Don't look at OPS and OPS plus. They've both been bad. Yo, Vinny, not going to say that's a W gift. That's a W gift for Felipe right there. Shout out Felipe getting a gifted, bro. Making up for it? Well, I appreciate it, dog. I appreciate it. Didn't know you needed a second graphics card for Fangraphs. Yeah, I've got my dual PC set up. My second PC is only for running Fangraphs. So that's all that it's used for. When are we bringing up Locklear? The future? The saving grace? Tyler, Lisan Al-Gaib, Locklear? I don't know. Maybe if he's still hitting well, I wouldn't be surprised if they just try and get him in there later in the year. Being the Rangers, I don't know if we want to condone violence here, Chris, but it could be a thing. But yeah, Locklear in his 6 games in the PCL's got a batting average of 304. So he's doing well in his promotion to Tacoma. I think Accent. Voodoo Magic just got gifted a member by Accent. I appreciate that. I appreciate. W, man. Guys. Whoa. Mike with the gifty. To Mitchell. Mitchell got his thing re-upped. That's another W gift. 3 W gifts all in a row, guys. Robert, you're the GOAT, Robert. You. To answer the question from Mike about when are we bringing up Locklear, I feel like you don't expect it before the deadline. Don't do that. Ian, member for 5 months. Abraham Toro reunion needs to happen. Bring back the Honest Bull. Bring him back. I feel like Locklear sometime in August, maybe into like a September call-up spark plug situation. And I think it also does depend on where DH production is at. But it's a thing that when the time comes and he's still hitting well, if Garver hasn't figured it out, if Haniger hasn't figured it out, whatever. Whoever you're giving DH at bats, Locklear coming up and being a DH, I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. No love for you. What was it? Was it Bang the Rangers? My bad. My bad. My bad. I was trying to finish a point about Locklear. My bad. September call-up. There it is. He's the Evan Carter of 2024. The chosen one. Who are we stealing from the Reds this year? Do the Reds have anyone we'd like to steal that is of similar caliber to Luis Castillo? any of their pitcher. You don't need pitching. Their bullpen, like maybe someone in their bullpen, but like I wanted Brent Suter super bad in the offseason. If we go out and trade for Brent Suter now after Gabe Spire got injured, frozen. Dude, my computer, I think I just need to go through and clean some stuff out because it's been a struggle a couple of the streams. Fernando Cruz, accent. See, I knew that was a name that you'd said. I knew that was the guy that you wanted. And Colton made fun of me for it. Noelvi Marte, get him back after his 80-game suspension. Easy peasy. The Mariner Moose could beat up Orbit? Oh. Be a cakewalk for the Moose. I feel like the Moose is a madman. Or a mad moose, I guess I should say. I feel like there's a psychopath underneath that suit. Easy. Call tech support to get your computer fixed? Yeah. Anyone in here a good hardware tech support kind of person? Because my computer needs it sometimes, okay? Could get Ellie for Bliss? Stop. Will the Reds sell, though? See, that's the thing, Ian, is the Reds as a team, 7 games under, not great. They're only 2.5 back of a wild card while being 7 under. So I think they probably feel like they're in an okay spot with how young their team is to just kind of stay pat and just kind of let it ride out. So I wouldn't assume that that they're going to sell a ton. If it's a singular reliever, like a Fernando Cruz, like Accent's yelling about, maybe that'd be the way. But yeah, we don't want Blake Snell. He's been bad for the Giants, unfortunate for him, and yeah, IL stint. It's not looking good so far for Blake Snell in a Giants tenure. But Mike, no, Mike, no. Blake Snell left his start today. Like he in like the third or fourth, maybe the third inning. Yeah, he left the start today with an injury. I don't know if he's going back on the IL if that's been announced, but Dylan, that's your job? Bet. We want Tom Murphy from the Giants? I hate to tell you, Nicola. I think Tom Murphy might be out for is he out for the year? He was on the 60-day. Wasn't he on the 60-day IL? Snell is on the 15-day IL now. Tough. Tom Murphy exits with a knee injury on May 4th. 60-day IL. 4 to 6 week recovery timeline. Yeah. He's on the 60-day IL as of May 15th. Unfortunate for Tom. Unfortunate. Need a mid to high-end reliever and a good bat. I agree. Go out and get the reliever now. And in a month's time, go get the bat. Love channel. Go M's. Jet City. I appreciate that. Randy Arozarena could use some playoff Randy. I mean, if he steps it up, sure. He's had a pretty rough year. Or at least to start the year, he wasn't doing very well. Yeah, 65 OPS plus for Randy. Negative 0.7 B WAR. Let's go see what it is on Fangraphs. Is it any better? If the stream crashes, just know, who was it? Aaron Rivers. It's your fault. I'm blaming you if the stream crashes because I'm going to Fangraphs. So far, a negative 0.5 wins on the year for Randy. Not great. If a change of scenery is needed, maybe. Paredes has been pretty solid for the Rays, so he'd be a more, I guess, impactful trade. Would cost probably more given his success on the year, but bring back Seawald. Would it take a lot? Probably not a ton, because you're only getting him for half of this year. Whether or not he resigns, who knows? But Seawald on the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are 5 under right now. 1.5 back of the wild card. I don't think they're in sell mode, honestly. A lot of their offense has been pretty slow to start. Corbin Carroll's been meh. Lourdes Gurriel Jr.'s been meh. So I think they're probably waiting closer. Like, I think it's just too early for some of those fringe teams. There are like 4 or 5 clear sellers right now. The Rockies, the Marlins, the White Sox, and like the A's. Maybe even the Angels, but like, do you want anybody from the Angels? Probably the Angels too. I just don't know like what you get from the Angels. Maybe Matt Moore. Maybe that's who you go get. But that's really it as far as selling teams go right now because everyone else is so close. Like the Mets, who are 11 games under 500. They are 24-35. Okay. The Mets are only 4.5 back of a wild card spot in the National League. 11 games, and you're only 4.5 back, and you've got players like Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, like on the offensive side, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff, like there are guys on that Mets team. It's been the pitching that's been rough. Obviously, Edwin Diaz exploding has not been helpful to them. The Mets, you could probably go out and get someone from their bullpen, like Reed Garrett, and that could be a move. But the fact that I'm looking at a team that's 11 games under, and they're only 4.5 back is kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Taylor Ward, lots of fans of Taylor Ward in the M's community. After seeing him for so long in an Angels uniform, you get to see what he can do. I don't disagree. I think Taylor Ward would be a nice addition. Ryan McMahon would be awesome, but his contract is rough. Yes. And like the news that the Rockies aren't super keen on trading him, yeah. I would be curious what it would cost. If he does get moved, I'll be curious to see what it costs. Why is the bottom of the NL so bad? It's weird. Like there's such a big gap. Not to say that the AL is all that much better, but looking at the Blue Jays, who are 28-30, 2 games under, or 4.5 back, the same amount of games back as the 11 games under New York Mets. It's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. Too many painfully mid teams in the league this year. Well, that's what happens when you expand the playoffs. Everyone tries to make the playoffs. Everyone thinks they're contenders. Rob Manfred's rooting. He is kind of rooting baseball. But expanded playoffs, not the real playoff system. Bring back the 1-game wild card. Anyways, what's Joel Pinheiro doing nowadays? How old is he? I'm going to say he is 49. He's 45, not that old. He's not that old. Hashtag heck the Astros. Should we tell him about it now? Guys, Colton, can you hear me? Or should I have this conversation with him when I can actually respond? Bring back the 1-game tiebreaker. Bring it back. Raul Ibanez? We did say Paredes. I think, again, I'd prefer him over Randy just because of like the success on the year. But he'd cost a little bit more because he's been better. Yes. Colton, we have heck the Astros. Someone, Felipe, the homie, proposed Frick the Angels. What are your thoughts on Frick the Angels? And then, don't get too set on it, because then the conversation swayed to the Angels aren't deserving of Frick, and then that should be Frick the Rangers. But we're open to some suggestions. We're open to opportunities here of what we could change to. If it's Frick the Angels, man. But just wanted to get your thoughts because that's right up your alley. Bang you done? Seatown fan. I don't know if we can combine that one and the Rangers. Why Frick the Mariner Mojo? Why not? Pray for the Athletics. There we go. You hate the Angels far more than the Rangers. Okay. Your hatred knows no bounds to the the MLB standings, to the AL West standings. You could hate the Angels with all your might, even though they're 12 games back in the cellar of the division, Ian. I respect it. I respect your level of hatred. D1 hater, Ian, of the Los Angeles Angels. Should say bang the Rangers? Again, there's options here, guys. We have definitely locked in heck the Astros. It's pretty important to figure out where we go from there, but we've got a great foundation. Heck the Astros is a phenomenal foundation. With the U, yes. Go get Seawald and Walker and call it a day. The thing I was just kind of talking about it, Christian. The Diamondbacks, who are 5 games under, are only 1.5 back of a wild card spot. They're a young team. They've been slow to start. Who's to say that come deadline they're not going to be in the thick of it? Because they're in the thick of it at 500. Would they trade Christian Walker and Paul Sewald? I don't know. I agree, though. I think that's packaging them two together makes a lot of sense for what the Mariners could need. If Garver's still struggling, you DH Ty or DH Christian Walker back-to-back days. Walker's a phenomenal defender at first, so you probably DH Ty. But I don't know if the Diamondbacks are going to be selling. Astros deserve the most hate? Oh, yeah. I think the Astros are the most hated team in baseball? Have they supplanted the Yankees as the most hated team in all of baseball? Of course, the Mariners, yes, it's the Astros through and through most hated. But, like, are the Astros more hated than the Yankees? Could be. Tatis for cash considerations? I'm in. If the cash considerations are his entire contract, that's tough. But, I mean, he's nice. Astros more hated than the Yankees? I agree. Whoa. Lucario with the promo for the membership. Whoa. I appreciate that. Bloopers 7 is a little bit slow. I didn't finish it in time, admittedly. But that'll be the next member video out either late tonight or tomorrow. Maybe Tuesday. But after they cheated, they definitely are. Yeah. Can't really bounce back from that super easily. The trades are fun, but could be some surprise sellers come deadline? Yeah, there's definitely teams that will emerge more as sellers or, like you're saying, be surprise sellers. There'll definitely be teams that look at their position in the standings and how their outlook could look over the next year and a half, and sell off some pieces that could be important that the Mariners could go out and acquire pretty easily. So I think, again, it is just June 2nd. We've got a whole, basically 2 months, about 7 weeks to really kind of nail down who the sellers are. So going out and getting a reliever now from one of the guaranteed sellers, like Chicago, like the Marlins, maybe the Mets if we want to call them that, Athletics, Angels, if there's someone out there that you like, maybe it's possible to go get it now. But I feel like the bat will happen closer to the deadline. Because I can't think of someone, like, again, other than maybe Brent Rooker, Taylor Ward, that's within the division, though. So it's, You're going to call your shot the Twins sell? Whoa. Richard. Hi, Joe. Hello. Go M's, baby. It's June 2nd. Chill out? Never. Never, Richard. Never in my life have I been chill. Accent. If the Twins are selling, who are you going to go get? Are you getting like a Griffin Jax? I saw Jackson. Oh, wait. That was one of the trades in the community tab post. Griffin Jackson, I think Kepler, was one of the trade things from the Twins. So it's possible. The White Sox go into the World Series, obviously. From the depths of hell, 15-45, the Chicago White Sox are going to somehow make it to the World Series. Losers of their last 11. Jeffrey, you inspire me. You inspire me, truly. Chisholm, even though he's injured all the time, I like the pizzazz. I like what Chisholm can bring. It's just when he is not on his A game, he is kind of rough to watch. Jackson Kepler would be awesome. It's possible. If you think the Twins are selling, go do it, bro. You make it happen, Accent. Get in the Mariners front office and make it happen. Lucario, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say that personally, Lucario. I might retract that message. Truthfully, I'm gonna remove that message. That's not nah. What are your thoughts on Brown being fired? Do you think it did anything or just a knee-jerk reaction? The comments that I've seen, and it's only been like mainly Mitch Haniger and some commentary from like Goldsmith on the broadcast about how Brown wasn't able to relate to the players, and Scott Service also saying they want maybe a more individualized approach to each hitter as opposed to an overarching thing. That overarching thing that Brown was trying to communicate just wasn't working. Ultimately, whatever he was trying to teach, whatever he was trying to practice, preach, whatever, it just wasn't happening. And if the offense turns it around by some sort of knee-jerk reaction, like you're saying, I don't know if it needed to happen. I don't know if it was like it was a necessity. I won't complain about the offense scoring runs, though. It is too soon to tell. I agree. But if it continues to trend upwards, maybe less cooks in the kitchen will help. And if it's a more individualized approach for each guy, I don't know how many guys have private hitting coaches or trainers or whatever on the team. If you count Ty and JP going to Driveline as like private hitting lessons, right? If those guys are still communicating with Ty and JP during the year while they've got hitting coaches in the Mariners organization also telling them like this is what we should be doing. And it's like maybe they conflict at sometimes. Like it can get muddy. And I understand that there's maybe almost too much information. So if it's one less guy and things start to work out and things start to click, who am I to say that firing Brant Brown was the wrong decision? I thought in the offseason it was a great addition. I liked the idea. But, I don't know diddly squat. Just have everyone on the team go to Driveline. That's the key. That's the key to success, Mike. Your grandmother could go up there and strike out. Don't sell your grandmother short, Jeffrey. I think she can go up there and get a base knock. Great hitters don't make great coaches. Edgar didn't work out. Yeah, I've seen the Edgar, maybe even Ichiro. It's interesting why that doesn't always coincide. Like great hitters not turning out to be great coaches. It's kind of funky. But if Ichiro sees a larger role in the organization later, if it's Edgar, whatever, it'll be cool. It's nice having them around the team, obviously. But same thing with like the hitting coaches. If they replace that in the offseason again, I don't know if they'll replace it mid-season or like give someone a larger role that's already on the team. Like I don't know. Can we get a triple? I can get a triple? Brother, I'm slow. I had like one triple my entire baseball career, at least in high school. I had one. And the ball hit me in the back on the relay throw, so it looked like I gave birth to the ball when I was sliding in. People called it the baby triple. Some guys were born to be players and others were born to be coaches. Those that can't do, teach. And those that can't teach gym. If anyone knows what that's from, you get a high five from me. Evan Gattis had 11 triples one year. Don't sell it. Again, this is another moment. Skull. Jeffrey inspired me earlier. Skull, you've inspired me right now. I'm going to go on the days where the kid, like the Little League days where you can run the bases after the game. Count me in. I'm going to go do it. Go run the bases. We'll time my triple time. We'll time my, home to third, what my time is. Compare it to like league average or whatever. Could probably hit an inside the park home run at T-Mobile. Maybe if the outfielders can only use their feet to get the ball. You know what I mean? What Mariners player could I hit a triple off of? It'd have to be a position player pitching. Not Joshy Rojas, my ace. Position player pitching that I could hit a triple off of. I feel like Ty just doesn't have... I don't know if he's got the best stuff. I think I could hit a triple off Ty, but in the outfield, all the outfielders have to wear the drunk goggles. So, like, it can be the normal outfield, you know, Rayleigh, Julio Canzone, Rayleigh, Julio Haniger, whatever. But they got to wear drunk goggles, and that's my key to success. I'm Ryan Bliss on the bags. I don't know if less truer things have ever been said in this chat. Truthfully, Vinny, I don't know if less true things have ever been said. Sour Vanilla, you could take Kirby? I mean, you know he's going to be in the zone. Just don't miss, bro. Oilers are stars tonight? Who's winning? Truthfully, I don't pay attention to hockey at all. Edmonton is winning the series tonight. Call it. Don't actually call it. I have no idea. I've seen Luis Urias' arm strength. True. I'd be scared he'd hit me, though. I wouldn't want to face him. I wouldn't want to be in the batter's box against him. I'd be scared he'd hit me. Ty gives Joe his MLB. I mean, hey, whatever it takes, bro. Luke Rayleigh's brother trying to tell us he can't get a triple cap. Oh, man. The Joe Rayleigh, I will never beat the allegations, truthfully. Until we see my birth certificate, it'll never be denied. All the outfielders need to be Ty France in the key. True. We need to clone Ty France. And that's the key. Bet Colton could hit a bunt home run. He is strong. I love those edited videos, by the way, where like someone bunts and then it like cuts to a home run clip. It's so funny. Or the one where it hit off, was it Sean Murphy's butt? Whose butt was it? Like stuck his butt out and the ball then flies over the fence. Those are some of my favorite videos. Haven't seen Joe and Luke in the same room. So if I dressed up in full gear, got a Luke Rayleigh jersey, wore the pants, everything, and I went to the ballpark, do you think people might be like, why is Luke Rayleigh out? Like, do you think it would happen? Admitted, I am 4 inches shorter than Luke Rayleigh and a bit chunkier. Do we think that I might get a... Is that Luke Rayleigh? I think I could get one. Not staged. I'd have to have my hair and my beard right. But I think I could get one. And hopefully I wouldn't get kicked out. Yeah, the Ichiro impersonator guy, that was a wild time when that was going on. With sunglasses on, definitely. Okay. In the juice ball era, the bunt home run? Yes. Oh, they did one with Ichiro. Okay. That's fun. Did you win? Maybe. I don't know. Did you? Guys, I think we've reached the time. No, I'm not going to do like a sneaking into the clubhouse or whatever. I'm not doing that. That's the easy way to get kicked out. We've reached the time where I've started talking about absolutely nothing. Oh, the high five? No. It was a School of Rock. Of course, stream ends already, buddy. This really Luke's my Rayleigh. Whoa. Stream ends already? I've been live for almost an hour. That's the typical stream length, an hour. Colton's going to be home soon. We got to record the podcast. Lucario. Prima, that's not my fault you got here an hour late. Dare me to do a 12-hour stream? On a day where I'm starting to sweat. It's getting hot in here. It's like 80 some odd degrees. It's probably like 78, 90, like 80 in my house with the light and this closed room. It's getting warm. Okay, I could do a 12-hour stream. I won't get close, but I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in real quick. All right, you can see it. You can see it's glistening. It's warm. All right, for charity. A 12-hour stream, it would, one, require me taking the day off of work and figuring out when I can do it. I have to have something planned. Gotta keep something coordinated. Found your brother's Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. Missed the misprint one. Wonder if you can get it signed. You guys thought I just abandoned you? You really thought I'd just end stream? No, I gotta thank Jeff for his 5. If Griffey's does signings like at some events, you could. Got here, got yelled at, and got your soul stared into? Yes. What a stream. Thought it ended like that? Epic? No. We're back from the dead. What in the Zoom? Hey, someone told me to get right up on the camera. I zoomed instead. I control it, not me. Anyways, I'm leaving now. Doesn't the stream usually end like that? Kind of. Jeffrey, 3 $5 super chats today. Appreciate. Dylan, a remember. Ian, a remember. 3 gifteds from Vinny, Accent, and Mike. Appreciate y'all. There's the 5. Also, Accent with the remember as well. Appreciate everyone hanging out on the Mariners sweep. Zoom killed the PC. Low key, it probably did. But yeah, that's it. Hit It Here podcast tomorrow. So watch that. Bye.